Hey everyone, welcome to July, if you can believe it. Yes, it hasn't been 10 years. It has only been, well, about a month since I last talked to you, or a few weeks, or maybe it's been 10 years. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this has been the longest, month already, and it's only July 2nd. I'm recording this literally on July 2nd, guys, and it already feels like the longest month. um Really, let's be honest, quarantine messes with your mind, and it kind of, days run together. And now that I'm not doing these every day, let me just be honest, I literally wake up some days and I have no idea what day it is. There was one day, I think it was last week, could have been 2 weeks ago, could have been yesterday, um that I woke up and I swear to you, I thought it was Wednesday. The whole day I thought it was Wednesday, and I woke up the next day and it was Friday, and I was very confused. I had literally spent all of a Thursday thinking it was Wednesday. I'm not even joking. I'm sure you all have stories like that. This has been like the craziest year. And I'm older than you guys. And let me just say, if this has been the craziest year of my life, that says a lot. Okay. So here's some announcements. I told you I would come on here and do this when I had big announcements, and I have big announcements. And I'm sure one of the things you guys are kind of wondering about, because you know how I know that, because I get text messages and telegram messages and email messages from you guys. I just answered another one. So I'm going to do this because I need to make this announcement. Number one, seniors. Let's talk about seniors first, because we got to get them done. Seniors as in like the class of 2020, not you guys who are going to be seniors in like a month. Okay, I'm talking about the ones who are still kind of going, what's going on? I have answers. You ready? Here you go. Number one, yes. The district decided to cancel in-person graduation, and I cannot tell you how much I am bummed, I am heartbroken, I am heartsick, and I feel terrible because you guys have been waiting for this, and they promised it to you guys, and they kept kind of delaying it out, and we were going as planned. But then unfortunately, for whatever reason, you guys can talk about it amongst yourselves or even in the comments below, we saw a sudden spike, unfortunately, with uh, people just catching coronavirus. And even today, as I write this, literally Hillsborough County and the city of Tampa in particular just spiked up once again. And so the reality is it's just not safe to have an in-person graduation. And for whatever reason, and yes, it sucks. And I am so, so sorry. I wish we could do better. I wish a lot of things, to be totally fair. There's just, it's out of my control. I unfortunately don't make the decision. And again, I cannot apologize enough. I know you're going to say, Miss Smith, I know it's not your fault, but it doesn't make me feel any less bad. Just as a side note, and again, this is not to make you feel any bad, I've literally graduated 3 times, once from high school and twice from college. And I have never been to a graduation, like as the graduate. I've been to other people's graduations, and those were fun to watch from the seats, but I've never actually worn a cap and gown, literally. Never. So this is actually going to be the first year I'd ever worn at least a gown part, because that's what the faculty wears. So I was kind of looking forward to it, to be totally fair, but I have never walked across the stage and gotten my name announced and, gotten the announcement. I've never done that. So I don't know what it's like, to be totally fair. So I guess I can, be sort of part in the same boat. I mean, that would have been cool, but if you guys want to hear the story later, I can tell you the story. But the reality is I still turned out okay, guys. So it's not the end of the world. You have a whole nother chapter of your life getting ready to come. You guys are adults now. You are getting ready to step out and do amazing things in this world. And believe me, as you know, this world needs you now more than ever. And we need people like you who are going to say, that's not okay. We need people like you just because you're you. So I can't wait to see what you guys do, to be totally fair. Some of you guys are literally the most amazing people I've ever met. So I cannot wait to see what you're going to do. I mean, some of you guys are going off to college. Some of you guys already know you're jumping into career. Some of you guys are going to the military. You guys blow my mind with how amazing you already are, and you're just barely on the cusp of adulthood. And take that as something that is, it's a bummer, and life doesn't always go your way. And so what you do is you take the hand you're dealt, to use a cliche, and you make the best of it. So what are we doing? We're going to make the best of it. So I know that you guys were really focused in on that Tuesday, July 21st at 9 a.m. So what we're doing instead is we're going to do another drive-through celebration. So you know how we did that in May? We did this like big drive-through, woohoo! We're going to do it again. But this time we're going to give you a diploma. We are going to, you're going to get your picture taken full cap and gown. So make sure, wear your full cap and gown, get your hair done, your nails done if necessary, for you lovely ladies, or hey guys, hey, why not? Get all dressed up, pack your family into your car. I know, I can already picture this. Some of you guys had such a good time. You decked out your car, you put the graduation thing. Some of you guys were riding on the back of your truck or up through the sunroof, and you guys were amazing. You guys are so creative. So I can't wait to see this again. So I'm super excited. We get to do this all over again, and with full cap and gown, wear your honors cord, wear your National Honor Society. I'm sure the rest of you guys who are in different honors, if you still need to pick up an honors cord, or you need to find out what you're doing, your sponsor will reach out to you. If you don't hear from them, reach out to them. That's the kind of thing. So just go ahead and connect with them. They will have stuff for you. If you haven't picked up your honor stool, they will connect with you. So that day, we're going to do it again. We're going to hand out that diploma. You're going to get your picture taken. We're going to have a DJ. They're going to make a personalized announcement. We're going to celebrate you. And yes, if you have ordered your yearbook, you will get to pick up this book. This book I have right here in my hands. These book, the pages, you get to find your picture. Look at that. I even opened up to senior page. Okay. You will be able to find your picture and everything. And as a bonus, we are actually including a senior only supplement. Okay. It's little. Okay. You can see, and it has special features for, look at that, senior class. So there's special seniors. Everything in this is for seniors only. So you get that as well, just if you ordered a yearbook. If you did not order a yearbook yet, I will have just a handful. We are almost sold out. I will have just a handful on hand. You can buy it. It'll be $100, cash, check, or Cash App, okay? It'll be available for you. You can absolutely buy it on site. And yes, every single yearbook purchase comes with the senior supplement, guys. By the way, shout out to Lou. He did the design for the cover. Both covers, yes, they're amazing. Love you, Lou. All right, so anyway, so yes, you can pick up your yearbook, you pick up your diploma, you get a full cap and gown picture. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It'll be in the morning, so it won't be hot yet. It's gonna be great, guys. More information exactly where, how that's gonna happen is gonna come very shortly. Miss Latanzi, Miss Solomon will put that on the Instagram. They'll send it out to the senior telegram. They'll probably do email. They'll probably do that, phone call from the school. You all are aware that's coming. So all of that be out there. So seniors, that's coming. That's the biggest announcement I have for you. That also means a very good thing. Your senior year is almost completely, totally, officially over. I know technically you've been done for 6 weeks now? You'll be officially done really, really shortly. Okay, seniors, any questions? Comment below, send me a message, reach out to Miss Latanzi or Miss Solomon. We are here to help you. We are gonna make this transition smooth, okay? We are working for you, let me know, okay? Moving on to next year, looking ahead. For those of you guys who are going to be freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior next year, so class of 2021 and beyond, your parents have received a survey from the district that basically asks them to pick between three different options. Basically, will you be coming back to school in person like a traditional classroom? Will you be doing e-learning, which is choosing for at least a semester, basically the first up through December, where you basically do kind of what we just did. It's a version of basically what we just did this last quarter. Like, I would put the assignments online and you would basically learn that way, essentially, like do e-learning, taking quizzes, doing everything digital over the internet. Okay, that's your second choice. Your third choice would be to basically take you out of Middleton and enroll you in Florida Virtual School, or Hillsborough Virtual School rather. And so the idea is essentially that's how you'd be going. You would basically no longer be a student at Middleton. Yes. Okay. And then you become basically you basically be going to their online campus. So those are the three options that your parents can choose, and I'm sure they probably all know, but you might want to ask them, open up for a discussion. Hey, mom and dad, this is what I really want to do. or they may say, you may have already had this discussion. So yes, they have to choose, and they have to choose kind of fairly quickly. I believe it's by, I want to say that next week. And there's a date that it's by, and I don't have it offhand right now, but because we need to know essentially, are we saving you a seat in the classroom, or is somebody else get the luxury and the privilege of your company? So that's kind of the thing that you need to know. If you are going to do e-learning or on campus, that is something just to be aware that we are still proceeding forward, especially if you are a senior next year. So class of 2021, this is for you guys. There will be a letter in the mail that has information about your senior pictures. What does that take? What does that look like? Everything like that. So be on the lookout for that. That is still on, as far as I know, until things change. You guys know anything is possible right now. But the reality is we're moving forward as if we're still doing that. So that's the plan right now. That's the plan we go with, okay? So as far as everybody else, just I really hope that things get better. I feel like there's absolutely a possibility. So stay healthy, wash your hands, wear your face mask out. I mean, it's requirement if you live in Tampa right now anyway. Just take care of yourself and take care of others. And I think we can slow down that curve, and then get back to normal. Okay, guys? All right, because I have to end it on something that's a little bit lighter, and because it's me, we have to do that. So I was looking for some ideas for the National Day, and since we're in July, yesterday, of course, as you know, or you may not have known, it was Canada Day. It celebrated Canada's independence from Great Britain, and you're probably going, yes, but Miss Smith, Canada technically still belongs to Great Britain, and you're absolutely right. It sort of does, and it sort of does not. It is its own independent nation. However, it remains a commonwealth of the British Empire. Yes, I'm no joke. That is a huge, do not understand that at all. And that could have been us, if not for, oh, by the way, this upcoming holiday that we have coming up. All right, so there is some dispute. As you all know, we celebrate the 4th of July. Well, on the 4th of July is our Independence Day. That is our national holiday. And the reason we celebrate it on the 4th of July is a really simple reason. And let me explain. Ready for some history? Here's some trivia. All right. If you've ever seen the HBO John Adams series, which if you have not, it's a good one to watch. I watch it every 4th of July, I promise you. Anyways, it's a kind of a very good representation of, especially the first couple of episodes, about how what they had to do to kind of get independence. That is something that's really interesting. If you have not, if you have studied history, and most of you guys have taken U.S. history at some point, so I'm sure you remember about the stories about how they had to decide whether or not they were going to break free from Great Britain. America's transforming them from colonies into states, deciding whether or not we actually did want to separate from the motherland, as it were, whether we did actually want to earn our independence in one way or another. So over the course of the month of June, actually, they met and they decided, hey, well, let's just table the vote, whether or not we want to do independence, and maybe you can come up with something. So 3 very significant founding fathers that probably sound very familiar. A man named Benjamin Franklin, another man named John Adams, and one particular man named Thomas Jefferson got together quite a few times over the month of June, and they kind of hashed out a lot of text, a lot of writing. Most specifically, Thomas Jefferson, of course, wrote a good bunch of writing. He was an incredibly intelligent man, and he was only 33 at the time. Yes, I know that sounds ancient for some of you guys, but it is not that old. It is not that old. And so it is actually really remarkable, considering most of the other people were in their later 40s, 50s, 60s, and, Benjamin Franklin being as old as the hills, of course. So he was very much one of the youngest ones that was part of the group, but he actually was also quite intelligent, and he sat down, he wrote some ideas out, and then he helped get that shaped by Adams and Franklin, and kind of created a text that they felt expressed why they chose to separate from England, why they felt like they had no other option except to separate from England. So they came back together on leading up to July, super, super hot day, and of course, no air conditioning. And you guys know summers here in Florida are not great, but it was a super hot summer in Philadelphia. It was gross and humid, and these people wore wigs and tights and, ridiculous, right? And they argued over simple, stupid points. But on July 2nd, as in today, the day I'm recording this, they all sat down and they cast their vote. All 13 cast their vote, and actually it was a vote of 12-0 with 1 abstention. Bonus points if you can guess which state decided to not cast their votes down below. They basically voted and they said that they would agree to the Declaration of Independence, what we now call it. And on July 2nd, it was unanimous, essentially, to declare our independence from Great Britain. Now, you're probably asking, well, why do we not celebrate it on July 2nd? That is a very good question. We don't, for a simple reason, because it wasn't done yet. Okay. On July 4th, they spent that after they made the vote, they actually said, that's nice, but we have some revisions. And part of that was to meet some of the different states had different, they felt like certain phrases were better suited for their purposes. And so again, to reach a compromise, because unfortunately, that's what we have to do a lot, they actually got together and they rewrote it. And Jefferson had to say goodbye to quite a few of his perfect little phrases and kind of craft them differently. And so on July 4th, the final text, the text as we know it today, actually was finalized, and it was signed by one person, the president of the Congress at that time, which was John Hancock. And that is why everybody talks about signing their John Hancock. That's why it's actually, if you've ever seen a copy of it, it's huge. It's right there in the center, John Hancock, okay? However, the rest of them did not sign it that day. In fact, most of the colonies didn't, they heard about the idea of it, but they actually, or the states rather at that point, they actually had never even heard, they didn't really know the details, they didn't know why. We didn't even send it off to England right away because the rest of the people in the Continental Congress still had to sign it. So the last person officially signed it on August 2nd. So why don't we celebrate Independence Day on August 2nd? July 4th is somewhere in the middle, it works. So anyway, so August 2nd was the official, like, we have officially all signed it, and yes, they all signed it. The youngest person to sign it was like 26 years old, so not that much older than you guys. So there's a lot going on. So there's a whole bunch of people. It's the coolest thing. If you have not read it, it's old-timey language, but it's definitely worth reading. And it's kind of an expression of why, basically the foundation of our country and where we live now. It's a fascinating read, but that is why today, July 2nd, is important. That is why July 4th is important. And that is why August 2nd is important. And yes, that is a lot of dates to remember, and that's a lot of stuff to remember. And I know I'm not a history teacher, but I actually really like history. So especially those of you guys who have taken my class before, sometimes I'll throw in fun tidbits. So I know that we usually celebrate July 4th with fun and fireworks and stuff, pool and everything like that, but I know that it's supposed to rain this weekend, and I know that a lot of places have canceled their fireworks, and I know that we cannot gather together. So I don't know how you're spending your holiday. I don't even know. I know for some people they don't even like to celebrate it because, let's be honest, even though America was independent from Great Britain, America was still very much a place where not everybody was free. People who, like me, were female, people of color, indigenous people. There's a lot of people that America was a free country for some people. And it took a really long time to make sure that it was free for everybody. And so it's a hard holiday for some people, and I get that. So I'm going to be sensitive to that and just celebrate the fact that we're free now. And yeah, we're still struggling to be heard and seen and valued for just being us. but we live in a country where we can make that expression heard and fight for it if necessary. That's how we got here, because we felt that the powers that be were not listening, and we needed to take a step back and say, hang on a second. And we had a generation of men that made a difference. And now we have a generation of young men and young women who are getting ready to make a difference. So I'm excited for a simple reason, because we know we can't go back. So therefore we have to keep moving forward. So my question is, for you, since we can't stay stalled in what is right now, what are you going to do to move forward? Do you have to change the road? Do you have to change your vehicle? Change direction? What are you going to do? Celebrate the fact that you have the freedom to choose what you want to do, and you can change the world. You can make it a better place. And the reason I know that is because I know you, and I know you can do it. So have a great July. I will be back if I hear anything else. If not, I will be back pretty much right before school to give you guys an update on that. I miss you guys a lot, and I look forward to seeing some of you guys at graduation, and getting rid of a whole bunch of yearbooks. So they're all piled up in my room right now, guys, and I need them to go away. So I cannot wait to get rid of them. And honestly, I can't wait to show them off. So congratulations on graduating once again. And you are going to do it, and you're going to do amazing. And I'm looking forward to the next adventure and the next chapter. So bye.